I've got our guest speaker, featured speaker, John Perrotta here, and we've had a few people that have asked about claiming horses, like why don't you just go claim a horse out of a race, and I thought John could talk about how claiming works and the positives and negatives of getting in the business via claiming.
Okay, well, claiming is not something that really jumps to mind when you think about getting in the horse game, but it is a vehicle to do so. There are some groups that form claiming partnerships specifically to do it that way. I don't know any of off the top of my head. I don't know any names of them because I kind of concentrate on the guys that do the yearling sales and the breeding end of the game. But claiming has probably actually become a better vehicle to get into the horse game over the past few years, because it used to be you put in your claim, you put up your money, you put in your claim slip, they came out of the starting gate, and it didn't matter what happened after that, you owned them. So the horse could, I don't like to say the word, but break their leg, they could drop dead, the jockey could, whatever could happen, they could come back lame. You owned them. And it only took about 50 or 60 or 70 years for people to come to the conclusion that was a bad idea for everybody, except the one that was getting rid of them. So now horses are vetted before the races, they're vetted stringently, and your chances of claiming a horse that's going to break down in a race are much, much lower. But
and John, if a horse pulls up lame, you can actually
now you actually do have opportunity to void your claim. You'll see that sometimes in the racing form now. You'll see a V there, it means the claim was voided. There are some trainers, and if you get to know trainers personally, some trainers actually excel with claimers. They're good, what we call leg men. They deal with minor ailments that horses have that end up running on the lower end. So it is a viable way to look at it.
So I think about everybody has a program. The fifth race is our next race, right? Is that correct? Fifth race? Okay. So that is a claiming race. So you could, if you put the money up, and it was in the horseman's bookkeeper, if you put $7,500 at the bookkeeper, you can go and you can pick out one of these horses, and that horse you will own after the race. So that's how claiming works. And so you might say, well, why do you do it? Well, one of the reasons is claiming allows us to group horses of like ability that have competitive racing. For example, in the next race, if I have a horse that's I believe is worth $20,000, I won't enter that horse for maiden. This is a maiden 7,500, because somebody will probably claim the horse, and then I might win the race, but I'll lose my horse for a very low amount of money. On the other hand, if I have a horse that is really worth $3,500, if I put that horse in a $7,500 race, it probably won't run very well. So what it does is, naturally, you bring horses of like ability for that $7,500 price. And that's one of the reasons why we have claiming races in America. Of course, also, some people want to only work with stakes horses and allowance horses, and so they want to, and I hate this term get rid of, but the horse doesn't fit their racing plan. They'll put it in a claiming race, hoping that someone will claim that horse and then maybe run it on a different circuit, or one man's, what do they say? One man's call is another man's dream. So that's what also is a good reason for claiming races.
One question, Corey. So,
okay, sorry, John.
I want to go down and put up $7,500 and claim the horse in this race. If my horse wins, do I get to keep the purse money?
Yes. The question is, if you claim a horse and the horse wins, do you get the purse money? No. It goes to the previous owner.
And,
go ahead.
And another thing is, claiming is unique to the United States.
Yeah.
North America. South America, Europe, Asia don't have claiming races. It's something we invented.
But just out of curiosity, you have to have like a trainer, you have to have something, you can't claim the horse and I'm gonna take what I put in my Mercedes.
Correct.
Right, you have to have a trainer. You have to have a trainer. You have to have a trainer,
You
yeah.
have to
Yeah.
enlist somebody to take over the horse, right?
Yeah, unless you have a
All those
Mercedes
costs-
horse
And
trailer.
all those
Yeah.
costs associated with the upkeep, stable costs.
Exactly. Yeah, it has to be prearranged.
I oversimplified it. You have to be licensed, you have to have your money up, and you have to have a licensed trainer.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to clear,
Yeah, that's well done. I agree. People need to understand that. What they do in other parts of the country is they have a racing secretary or a group that basically rates horses. When you run in Europe or Ireland, you're a 80 rated horse or you're a 90 rated, and that's a human being looks at how that horse has run and then puts a number on it. So they will write races that'll be 1 mile on the turf for horses that are rated from 75 to 85. So you'll see those kind of things go on. I personally think it's a very good system, and we should do more of that in America, but trying to get change in this sport is very difficult. Yeah. Okay, other questions? I think
So what do you see claiming and allowance horses running together in the same race?
Yeah. What's happened is, through the years, we have a hard time making a claiming race for 30,000 or 40,000. So what they do is they came up with a new type of race, and it's an allowance race, right? And let's say it's a race for non-winners of 2. Or you can put your horse in for a claiming price of 30,000, and that's where you get the allowance and the claimers to come together. So you allow more people to run their horses. John, you want to add anything to that, or okay? But that's how you see that.